Hello, YouTubers. Joe here at 5:20 on Tuesday, March 19th. Now, I've got a couple of interlocking stories to tell today, or, well, yeah, I'll call them stories. Um, I've only been to one, well, that's not quite true, but I'll say one rock concert in my life. Now, I've actually been to two. The first one was sort of not me deliberately going to a rock concert. I took my son and his then girlfriend up to Richland Arena there, just, well, south of Cleveland, to see U2. And I almost said YouTube, but to see U2, Bono and all that, Oh, I'm so significant and concerned. Um, anyway, at that point I had a dually crew cab Ford 1986 diesel truck. So I was in the front seat driving them, and his girlfriend, he and Annie were in the back seat, and so off we went and got up there, and of course they scampered into their seats. And now I thought, well, there's always guys roaming around selling tickets, and I might just, want to go in and see what this is all about. So I had my, ear protectors, like for when I go shooting, and so I took them, and so they went in, and it was pretty much after the concert start time, but I thought, well, let's just go see. Well, it turns out I didn't have to even leave the truck, because some guy came by and knocked on the window and said that I want to buy this ticket for $15. Well, that's a pretty good price, seeing that Thomas had paid almost $80 a piece or more for his. And so the exchange was made, in I went, and well, I don't know where his seat was, but it turned out that I could go all the way up to the sort of the third level, and then I could sit wherever I wanted and watch this spectacle. Well, I was very impressed. First of all, playing rock music for 2.5, 3 hours straight is a very physical act. It's almost, they should make that they should put that in the Olympics. I mean, here, this drummer, essentially they had like about a 5 or 10 minute break, in a 2.5 hour period. And this guy was just working, and this is a very, demanding way to make a living. And of course you had Bono and whoever else was there. And they had these small cars suspended from the ceiling, and the lights are blinking, and this and that and the other. And I'm glad I had those ear protectors, because my word, even with them on, I was hearing it plenty clearly. So okay, so I sat through that, and well, hell, I enjoyed a lot of it actually. And I decided just toward, when they got into like the third encore, I decided, well, maybe I just need to sort of get out of Dodge here. And so I went down the ramp, and turns out I wasn't the only dad there with ear protectors on either. So there were a lot of guys. Let's see, I was in I was 91, so 92, 93, somewhere in there. And so that would have been, I would have been like 49 or 50, and Thomas, of course, would have been 17 or 18, 17. Yeah, well, anyway. Yeah, 17. So that was fun, but it was interesting. I got out there and I thought, well, they'll be out here shortly. Well, no, they weren't. In fact, I had time to listen to almost two basketball games on the radio because they were doing the uh, well, it was actually the semifinals of the NCAA tournament that night, and so Indiana was playing. So I listened to the Indiana game. Now, of course, I've always liked Indiana. That was still when Bobby Knight was with Indiana before they decided he was politically incorrect and had to be toned down and. Oh, an embarrassment to Indiana. Embarrassment to Indiana, my behind. He's a credit to Indiana University. He went to Ohio State, by the way, and played for Ohio State. And so I was enjoying listening to that game, and then out they came, and then off we went home. So anyway, that was my first rock concert. The second rock concert was on November 4th, 2011. There's Bob Seger down here in Columbus at Nationwide Arena. And I actually, bought these tickets. I mean, I went out and bought these tickets. The only time I've ever done that. And it was like $80, $85 each. And I've always wanted to see this guy. Now, I remember when he came over to the Castle and the Newport on High Street in Columbus in 69, 70, 71, 72. And I never saw him then, but I always heard about him. And I, of course, heard his music on the radio and sitting in the CNG drinking pitchers of beer and eating pizza on the various mechanical music reproduction devices. See, I'm trying to avoid saying jukeboxes, aren't I? And so I wanted to see this guy and hear this guy, and so we did. And Thomas and I went down, and he drove, and wow. So today I got looking around on the YouTube and the internet, as one does from time to time, and there were a number of people that had uploaded substantial parts of this particular concert I'd been at on the YouTube. So using my iLivid software, I happily downloaded the bulk of these things, and I've been replaying them. So, but that's sort of story one. Now, somewhere along the line, when Paul worked for this previous outfit, cleaning apartments and condos and stuff for people who rent them long term, when people would move out, they'd leave stuff behind and he'd bring them home. Well, we've collected a number of wonderful, very useful things over the years, including the chemo chair, sort of this faux Barca lounger or whatever that I sleep in. And he found it in the trash, but it wasn't too dirty, so we tidied it up and fumigated it, and it's been quite nice. Well, when the screws broke, I re-drilled some holes and got some stove bolts and fixed it. But, be that as it may, he found this Bob Seger CD, and it's the one that had Roll Me Away on it. Now, I had heard Roll Me Away. I had a number of his records, but I hadn't heard Roll Me Away before. So I started playing this, and of course, as one does, you get pleasant in the late afternoon, and I'd turn this stuff up, and fortunately, I've got speakers that can take 100 watts of stuff, per channel, and we had 3 dogs that time, but the one dog particularly didn't like Bob Seger. Our oldest dog at the time, named Oaklander, did not like Bob Seger. That's strange, in this house, because everybody in this house likes Bob Seger. But the other 2 dogs didn't mind Bob Seger. They actually seemed to like Bob Seger. If they didn't like Bob Seger, they at least kept it to themselves and went out on the porch. They said, they went over the door and wanted to go out, so they went out. But Oaklander was actively annoyed at this. So a number of times, certainly 3 or 4 times, Uh, after the first couple times, I figured out where it was, but the first couple times it took a while to figure it out. Uh, I'd have the CD, and I would generally then take it out of the machine, and I'd leave it on top of the the, the machine, and because I knew I was going to play it again, and so I'd go there and be gone. I thought, well, what did I do? Did I do something? Did I get wandering around with this thing and lay it somewhere? Well, you look and you look and you look and you look and look. So couldn't find it. So one day I noticed the dog watching me, and I thought, well, that's unusual, because usually if he thinks I'm going to play something, he just sort of leaves. He doesn't like to be around me. And he's watching me, and I'm thinking, that dog's done something. So, where would he go with something that, I'm sort of jumping ahead here now, because I didn't make that connection at first. So when you look at a dog, how, or you look at a kid, and they get feeling guilty, sometimes they'll actually lead you to the source of their guilt. Well, he walked into this. Now, we had this big dog box. I mean, it's really more like a cage, it's big. It's not like a transport box. It's like, oh, here's a bed. Put your bedding in there, and the dog can go in there. And then if you have to leave, you can close the door on the dog, and then the dog gets used to that. And then you put a cover over it. It's a private place for the dog and that sort of thing. So he had done this. He had used this a fair amount when he was a younger dog, and and so he went into this box, and there was this dog cage box, and I thought, this is odd, because this dog just generally in the middle of the day doesn't go in there anymore. Or not he's like 4 or 5 years old. So I said, come on out of there, gave him a treat, put him out in the back porch. Then I got rooting around in there, and he had taken this CD. Now, he hadn't, in the jewel cage, he hadn't bitten it, he hadn't chewed it up, he hadn't broken it up. He had just taken it, and he had buried this thing under the cushion in his dog bed. Because he didn't want me to play this, because he didn't like it. Well, he either didn't like it or he didn't like me playing it loud. Although I'll tell you, I've played other stuff loud, and he didn't seem to be bothered by that at all. So there's something about Bob Seger he didn't like. So he did that a couple of other times. Well, he did it several other times, but after the second time I was on to him. Now, here's this dog. Now, here's this dog. Now, here we are at Wilderness State Park in the northern part of the Lower Peninsula in Michigan. Now, of course, that's me at the picnic table, and that's the dog. There's Oaklander. Now, he's 10 months old at that point, okay? Now, he's a Labrador Retriever. Now, you wouldn't necessarily think it to look at him, but he's indeed a Labrador Retriever. He was so unusually looking, the vet, when I was taking him to the vet to, do what you do with a dog with the vet, she said, how much did you pay for this dog? Well, I paid $600 for the dog, but that's okay. But how much did you pay for this dog? She thought he had hypothyroidism, and she drew thyroid levels and studies on him. So here he is. He's probably a year or two older than this one. Okay, let's see here. Let's get this over. There's Oaklander. God bless him. God bless him. And then here he is at another state park. We were probably at the Strait State Park there in Michigan on the Upper Peninsula there, just outside St. Ignace, because we never put these guys on chains or stuff, and unless we had to secure them and keep them so other people be happy and all that kind of stuff. So that was Oaklander's little editorial remark on Bob Seger. Well, now, unfortunately, he wasn't able to go to the Bob Seger concert then because, Oaklander died March 25th, 2010. So we're coming up on that anniversary. But he's a good dog. Anyway, I thought I'd tell you all that story. So bye-bye now, YouTubers.